Alright, well, welcome back to the channel. So, back on the Jeep once again. It is a lovely 70 degrees here in the garage. So, I'm not going to be super sweaty today, which is very nice. So, I don't know where I left off on the Jeep last video, but we actually have floors in it. So, these are just the floor mats I kind of tossed in there in the meantime, because I am missing that little cover. But the floors are in it. I drove it around a little bit, got the battery all charged back up. Yeah, these things are just falling apart, so now I got to clean up that mess. But exciting thing is I was able to find a carpet. So for $100 I was able to find pretty much a brand new carpet kit for this thing. So this thing is going to be a little bit nicer. It'll actually have some sound deadening in it again. So big thing that I got to do though is figure out whatever this little wire mess is, get the seats out, get the center console out, and hopefully that helps a little bit more with the smell. So it still has a little bit of lingering cigarette smell whenever it sits for a long time. So I'm gonna go ahead, get this thing cleaned out again, and maybe get me some Febreze for that little bit of lingering smell. It might be the headliner, honestly, what is trapping in that smell. And then also maybe these gross sun visors. So eventually, maybe this thing might get some sun visors. But for right now, let's focus on getting this carpet in. And if there's anyone in the San Diego area, Escondido area, that has some lift springs for this thing that actually wants to sell them, instead of just getting my hopes up and ignoring me whenever I want to go buy them, let me know so I can actually put a freaking lift on this thing and drive it, because we're actually fully legal now. We have some plates. That's just a temporary for right now until my actual plates show up. So yeah, all right, let's get to it. Alrighty, first order of business, get the seats out, and you can kind of see where I kind of cut everything out. Now let's see how we can get the center console out. I've never removed one of these, so it's going to be interesting trying to figure out where all the bolts are. Alright, cool. Now that we got that out, so we had one bolt here, one bolt there, and a few bolts in here. Those two holding this in. So pretty easy. And then this whole thing can now come out. So now it looks like all I gotta do is get rid of this air duct somehow that is stuck. That's probably gonna need two hands, and then we can get rid of all this gross carpet. So should be pretty easy to get the carpet in. So let me get all this stuff out and get the carpet in. Alright, and this is what's left of the gross smelly carpet. Honestly, now that I think of it, I think the cigarette smoke was coming from the floor mats, because I never washed those either. So those floor mats are not going to go back in until I at least pressure wash them. But yeah, here's what's left of the carpet. So now let's get that sucker going. Alrighty, and it took a little bit of finagling to get it in, just because, again, I did not trim this carpet. This was in a Jeep previously, but he said he only ran it for like 2 months. So, and I kind of believe him, because it still looks brand new, other than the little dirty spots for me walking around on it. But yeah, we finally got a nice carpet and a little bit of sound deadening, and hopefully now I won't get like hepatitis B freaking driving in this thing. But there's the driver's side, everything kind of lined up. These holes, they're not perfectly lined up, so I may have to trim them out again. But it's not that big of a deal. And then this crease right here. But once the seat's in, it'll be all hidden, so there you go. Alright, let's get the seats in and the center console and see how it looks as a finished product. Alrighty, and there's pretty much the finished product. So yeah, this is the unfortunate part, is that, you know, Marketplace got me. Whoever cut this carpet before me did not cut it right, so the passenger side is kind of jank. I might just run like a screw through there or something just to hold it, but it's not too bad. Still 100 times better than what I had before. It even smells better in here now. So just got to do a little bit more cleaning, a little bit of vacuuming, and I even went ahead and recharged the AC system in this thing. So now this thing has ice cold AC. The vents don't work, so whenever you change this, it just does not make these vents work. So that is next order of business in a future episode. I think I got a lead on some springs, so hopefully tomorrow I can get myself a fresh set of front lift springs, so this thing can actually have somewhat of a lift and be way more drivable than what it is right now. Because right now you can't really turn, you can only do like half turns before the tires just make the most god-awful noise as they try and kill themselves on the fender. So there you go. Here's another little update on the Jeep. Everything's put back together. The interior is done forever now. So yeah, so next step is really just put a lift on this thing and let's take it off-roading. So deuces.